But in terms of what I attract in my business life, it has nothing to do with what you put out there in terms of what comes back to you from other agents. It has everything to do
For me, it does.
with
I've been very fortunate.
Well, I'm
talking
about the scumbags. This is what I hear, is that they target the poor areas, the poor neighborhoods like South LA, like the northeast part of the valley, that those areas are specifically targeted. And I don't do business in those areas typically. I haven't done a lot of business, so I don't know. I haven't come into contact with those lenders. Or
I'm not talking about lenders. I'm talking about real estate agents who only care about getting their commission. I am talking about real estate agents who don't put their clients' financial interests before their own. I am talking about real estate agents who are brand new, who may have come into the market to make a quick buck. They're not making it, and they will do anything in their power to get a deal into escrow.
Well, a lot of these are lender agents. I mean, they do both sides.
Absolutely.
They have a lot of incentive to do anything, no matter what.
Absolutely.
That used to be a conflict of interest to be the agent and the lender, but as of 2 years ago, it's not. And
maybe that should be changed.
I think it should be.
I agree, because now you can be the lender, the agent, the escrow officer. You know, you can do everything, including cleaning the toilets, and it's legal.
But
and
it's not to say that a lender agent is a bad person, or
No, I know. I'm sure there's some very
good,
ethical.
But I do think there's a conflict, and so
I agree.
I think that's something should be addressed.
What kind of loans do the two of you have? I'm just curious. In your life, have you ever taken risky loans? What kind of loans do you have, and have you had? Always a fixed, 30-year fixed. You're a 30-year fixed girl. What about you?
I have a little bit more edge in my life. I'm not always a 30-year fixed girl. When I buy investment property, which I don't do, I mean, I don't want to give you the impression I go out on
a wheeler dealer
on a daily basis, yes, and I just, I'll take that one and that one and that one and that one.
Well, one day you will.
That's right. Well, you know, it's too much like work.
Trump's Rolodex. I knew it.
Listen, baby, Trump's in my Rolodex, but be that as it may. My point is, I have purchased investment property, and I bought a home to live in 2 years ago. And here's how, again, this is how I always get to my bottom line. I always look at things worst case, and I always think, if the worst possible thing happens, can I support all of these loans? Can I make these payments? Right. And regardless of the circumstance, if the answer to that question is yes, then it's full steam ahead, and I'll go. Could I lose a significant amount of money if I'm wrong about this? You bet. But as long as I can make the payments, as long as I don't toss and turn at night, there's a little tossing, a little turning.
You know,
it's all about the payment.
You know, all the houses I bought, they're not that many, but they're, 6, 7, whatever. I had one that I just could not sleep, and yet, I mean, the entire escrow it was not the last one. I just bought one 6 months ago, but it was the one about 4 years ago. And it was even the kind of thing, which I think is always good, if you can buy a house and you know you can rent it for more than the mortgage, you should be sleeping at night.
Absolutely.
And this was a house where the mortgage was $1,500 a month. You could rent it. I'm renting it now for $2,750 a month. And yet I couldn't sleep at night. So
there must have been other things going on.
But I do think that's an important thing. If you can get something where you know you can rent it to cover your mortgage and your payments, that's a solid investment.
And I agree with you 100%.
Worst comes to worst, you put a tenant in there and you sell it when you're ready to sell it, when the market's ready to handle that.
Absolutely.
But I'm sort of like Sabina. I normally have always done 30-year loans.
And I talk to my clients that way, unless they're flippers, unless they're, I try to get a real understanding.
I did my first non-30-year loan a couple years ago.
Congratulations.
I know, it's so exciting. But it was a 10-year interest only. So it's fixed for 10 years, so it's not that risky. No. But to me, that was like a risky move.
And see, to me, I think so much of it depends on what your plan is, what the big picture is.
Yes.
You know, if you have a client that's planning on buying a home and dying in that home, living there for 50 years and dying in that home, I always try to talk them out of it. Yeah, then they want a 30-year fixed. And I always say, you know what, stop and think about this. Your children right now are toddlers. At some point, they're going to, start school. You may love the schools here, but, do you really want to be in this house as the market changes, as your family grows, if you have more children? Do you really want to stay in your house for 30 years? And quite candidly, one of the ways, in my opinion, that you get rich in Southern California is by turning that house every 7 to 10 years. You wait for the appropriate market conditions. And that having been said, I tell my clients, if you can feel comfortable with a 5-year fixed, with a 10-year fixed, do that. Your payments are lower every month, and then you'll move into the next house and do it again, a 5-year fixed or a 10-year fixed, especially if it's a starter home.
Single digits, fixed is the way to go.
I think they say that people, the average in this area, that people move like every 3 to 6 years,
exactly.
I believe. So, even though you think you're going to be there forever, you usually are not.
Exactly.
So you should always keep that in mind.
I think it's critically important, particularly if you want to amass obviously, as some of us do, a fortune in real estate.
As
and
Trump people,
as
like,
Trump
yeah.
girls, yes. If you want to amass, you know, if you want to ensure your future, if you want to have something that's sitting there, real property that's tangible, that you can see and touch when you retire. And as you said, rental property is wonderful.
We have to wrap it up. I'm so sorry. It was so interesting.
Well,
and you
I've
guys
enjoyed
were
it.
excellent.
Thank you.
But I want to thank everybody for watching the show, and I hope you gained some insightful information and will help your home buying or home selling process. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.